look, I am so qualified to do this. It all really makes sense. You take in everything about me. If you knew everything about me, you would say, aha, yes, that makes sense. It's as if we've had all these puzzle pieces. We've had all these puzzle pieces, and we've put them together in all these ways, and we're looking at it, and we're like, what in the hell is this supposed to be? What is this? This doesn't make sense. There are many weird facets that are not particularly helpful when it comes to being a person in the world, a person in the physical job-having world. I've had lots of jobs. And if you talk to my bosses and you talk to my co-workers, they'll all tell you I'm great. They love me. They love me because when I'm there, I do a good job. Because I recognize that, if I'm doing customer service, even though I have these feelings about capitalism and all of that, and it is it's a hard thing to care when you're not being paid enough to have anything to care about. But when I'm at work, I'm trying to be helpful, because I know that when I go to a store, when I go to the grocery store, and I'm looking for something, I'm not trying to be a pain. I'm not trying to ruin anybody's day. Or if a product is bad for some reason, I'm not trying to be a pain. I never take things back. I never do. Because, most of the time I'm like, well, this is my problem, I just don't like this, whatever. Maybe other people like it. What do I know? Anyway, my point is, when I'm at work, you can talk to my bosses, I'll give you their phone numbers. Just kidding. I wouldn't do that. That would be irresponsible. But they'll tell you that I'm great. I'm awesome. They love me. Except for there's one problem. I call out a lot. I call out so much. Oh, I'm always calling out. Yesterday I heard this, I think it was Khalil Gibran, but I heard this quote. Well, all right, I'm going to paraphrase this quote. Basically, if you can't do your work with love, you're better off sitting in front of the temple begging for coins. And leave the work to people who can work with love. Something about bread baked with indifference feeds only half-hour hunger. Something along these lines. And I thought, yes, that's what I'm going to say next time I have to call out of work. That is perfect. You don't want me to come in. You don't want me to come in because this sucks. And I hate it. You don't want this attitude around your customers. You want somebody who wants to make people feel better if they come in grouchy. Because a lot of customers, they come in grouchy. You know that. If you've ever worked retail or anything with customers, you know. A portion of them are going to be grouchy. But then, what happens is we get grouchy. And then we start to assume that all the customers are grouchy. Anyway, I'm not trying to talk about work. This is not the reason I'm lecturing today. The reason I'm here today talking to you is that I've discovered my purpose. I've found that puzzle piece that said, that made the entire rest of the puzzle make perfect sense. I'm Santa. I'm the new Santa Claus. Santa's been dead. Santa fell off a roof in 1992 or whenever that movie came out. And we thought Tim Allen took over and that things were cool. But things ain't cool. Where's the Christmas spirit, I ask? Why are these misers? Why are these misers who are hoarding all the wealth not being visited by three spirits on Christmas Eve so that they might have their perspectives changed, so they can stop hurting us, so they can have a joyful life in the world with the rest of us, and so that we don't have to keep toiling, because it's so dreadful. Honestly, isn't it dreadful? So, there's a void. We've got a void. And nobody's stepped in to fill it. The mall Santas, that's not, they've always been... where is our true Santa? Well, I admit, here I am. I offer myself. I've got the time. I've got the inclination. I've got the joy and the passion. But here's the other thing, is that kids these days, kids are really good at finding magic anywhere. I think the kids are going to be all right. It's the adults that I'm worried about. It's those of us like my age, like I'm 36. People that I know, that I talk to in a lot of different stages of their lives, but adults, a lot of them that I know are having a very hard time. And it bums me out. And I'm having, I have a hard time. We need some magic, you guys. We need some magic. And you know what kind of magic I know best? Christmas magic. Oh, I'm good at Christmas magic. And I know you guys are thinking, isn't Christmas a little overplayed, cliche, played out? Christmas, like with the felt Santa red suit thing? Nah, man. We're doing a full Santa rebrand. I mean, I'm a lesbian. It's already, we've got, this is Santa for a new generation. Me, Santa for a new generation. And because I admit I am not descended, as far as I know, from the Fae folk, at least not physically, I'm not a powerful enough wizard yet to conjure a sleigh that runs on Christmas spirit. And let me remind you that, even if it did run on Christmas spirit, we are lacking in that department. And if you've ever watched Christmas movies, I'm right about that. Like Christmas spirit, like in Elf, he had to make an engine, a jet engine. So, and it's just not, I'm not confident with those skills yet enough to, say, bend time and space in order to go entirely around the world and visit every household. Like I'm just one human, pretty cool lesbian who has always loved Christmas. Do you know my favorite? Okay. If you had asked me a year ago what my favorite movie was, I may have said something like, I don't know, Harold and Maude or something like that. Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou? I mean, that is always on the top 3, for sure. Raising Arizona. I like the Coens. But recently, my girlfriend informed me that, in fact, she believes that my actual favorite movie is The Muppet Christmas Carol. And when she said that, I begrudgingly had to agree. I said, you're right. I hate the idea. I am morally opposed to a Christmas movie being a person's favorite movie. That's absurd. That's stupid, okay? So I had to admit that she was right. If you get me talking about the Muppet Christmas Carol, like, I could do an entire lecture series. In fact, put that in the creative cauldron, will ya? Jot this down. Series about Muppet Christmas Carol. A whole workshop. Okay, anyway. So what I'm saying is I'm offering my services. I'm offering myself. And here are my qualifications. 1, I can't make it anywhere else, you guys. My bosses love me, but I call out all the time. I'm not reliable. I'm not reliable because I'm not willing to sacrifice my life for $15 an hour, even $16 an hour. My friends, I'm not willing to sacrifice my life for $40 an hour. I can't. There is no number. That's not true. Maybe like if somebody was like, what if I gave you $1,000 if you worked this 1 hour? That sounds pretty motivating. But even that, I think, I would hit a specific limit and I would be like, well, I got my camper van now, so I'm going to go. I mean, that's only 10 hours right there, and I could have exactly what I want. Anyway, so hourly job, that's out. We've tried it, we've failed, we've disappointed manager after manager. Don't make me disappoint more managers, you guys. I can't be managed. I'm unmanageable. 2, I want to do this. I don't know what it looks like, but I have a love and a passion for the idea of granting wishes in some way. I have this vision of, I've got this camper van and I travel around the country, around the continent, all the places you can get in a camper van, I guess. And I just facilitate the granting of wishes. Doesn't that sound cool? And while I'm at it, I also love woodworking. I am trying to learn how to chainsaw carve if I can get time. It's harder than they make it look on the YouTubes, you guys. Those guys on YouTube, they're like, oh, look, I made my first bear. I'm like, that can't possibly... You're telling me that's your first bear? Don't look at my first bear? Man. Woodworking. So yeah, Santa, woodworking, that's me. That's me, you guys. I could do that. I love to whittle. I've always been known in my friend circle for making staffs and wands, magical objects. I'm very good at making magical objects. I am a wizard at crochet. The first thing I ever crocheted, I just picked up a crochet stick and I started going. And I'm just, not to brag, but I'm just like a natural at it. So I'm a cloak wizard. I can crochet a cloak. I can cut up small trees for you. If you need if a tree is fallen, I can cut that up for you. Don't ask me to cut down a whole tree. I'm not capable of all that. I'm also ordained, and I have a cool sense of style. If I had a style budget, man, I could look cool. I could look the part. I've studied the ways, the philosophies of giving. I ponder this shit. Giving and receiving. And not just for the receiving part. I ponder this because there's a big part of me that feels like I have all this cool stuff to give, but I don't have the ability to give it. And so what I want to do is, and a big part of that too is that, like, I feel like people need magic. They need some hope. And I don't care who you are. I don't care what your politics are. Like, people need magic. I don't care what religion you are. Like, this is a non-religious, deeply spiritual, queer friendly Santa. That's me. Well, I'm gonna work on my pitch some more while I chop some wood. What a wild ride. I can't believe I'm Santa. I want to do it, you guys. I don't know how yet, but like it just makes sense. And I came to this months ago. I came to this, but I didn't realize that there was a pathway. And ever since yesterday, when I said I am wealthy, suddenly this pathway has opened up, and it's become extremely obvious. Holy shit! Just do it. Just be Santa. So that's me. I've come out of the closet. And turns out I am a gay Santa. I'm a lesbian Santa. Haha. Alright. Well. I love you guys. Thanks for letting me, like, be crazy enough to live my dreams. Haha.